Welcome to plot 37. As you can see, it's a slightly different format today. I'm actually at home rather than at the allotment. That's because I'm going to be starting off some tomato seeds. Up until about early April, I tend to start all my seeds off at home. Although we do have a greenhouse at the allotment, it's still getting quite cold at night, and so at home they've just got that bit more protection. That's particularly true for things like tomatoes, chilies and peppers and aubergines, because they just need a bit of heat. Whereas normally things like peas and beans and onions would be absolutely fine in the greenhouse, apart from the fact that if I do them in the greenhouse, the mice eat them before they've germinated. So I do everything at home at this time of year. So yeah, I'm going to be sowing some tomato seeds today. I thought I'd do a video because I'm at the stage where I planted some about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, 6 weeks, and then I planted some about 3 weeks ago, and I'm planting another today, so I've got kind of the 3 stages. So I'll be able to show you what I'm doing with those. Well, if you're thinking of trying and grow your own, tomatoes is not a bad place to start. Not only do homegrown tomatoes taste unbelievable, but you can get a huge range of variety of tomato, and they taste very different from what you can buy in the shop. There's a lot of different types of trays available for sowing into. I've got some of these which are old polystyrene ones. If you look after them, we've had these for about 18 years. They're really good and they don't deteriorate, but you do have to look after them because they tend to snap at the edges. But they're really good and they're very insulating because of the polystyrene. You also get bits and pieces like this. Generally these are really flimsy, don't last very long, and a bit of waste of plastic. But we bought some plug plants in these last year. I think they might have been cabbages. So we've kind of got them left over, so you could use something like that. Also there's these sort of individual pots. These tend to come with their own tray with the little slots to put them in, and are perfectly good, and if you look after them, again, they last a long time. Or you could go for the tray method. This is a purpose tray, but you could use, you know, an old, sorry you can't see that, a tray. If you make holes in the bottom that you buy mushrooms in or whatever from the supermarket, they make a perfectly good seed tray as long as you put holes in the bottom. But the method that I'm going to use today are these. Particularly like these ones because they're really, really solid, and also I can fit 8 of them in a tray for the water, so it's quite convenient. So first thing to do is to fill it up with compost. So I tend to use an old bucket and mix my compost up. This year I'm really determined to go peat free. We shouldn't be using peat as gardeners in 2020. And I've been using a product called Cocoa and Coir. I've never used it before. It feels really nice. I'll put the clip up in a second of it expanding. But any kind of peat alternative is definitely the way to go. Yeah, so what I've mixed up in here is some of our own compost, some of the peat coir, and also some perlite. What I'm going to do is just put my tray don't push it down too hard, just enough that it's solid and flat. So the next thing is definitely labelling. I tend to label my trays even before I've put the seed in them, because I have a habit of thinking I'm going to remember what's in the tray. So I've got my label. These are the ones I'm planting today. I picked them up at the potato fair. They're called Japanese black trifeli, but apparently they're Russian, so I don't know where the Japanese bit comes from. The bit that I particularly like is, it says here, having all the richness of fine chocolate. Label goes in. And that's the tray ready to go out into the conservatory. So when they first germinate, they'll have 2 leaves that are called seed leaves. I'll just show you them now because I planted some about 3 weeks ago and they're looking pretty good at the moment. So that's these guys here. Do you see those leaves? So that's Derby Stripe and Outdoor Girl. And then I've got a couple more over here. But these leaves, they're not the true leaves. These are not ready to pot up. These are going to be maybe another week in here before they're ready to go. So the next thing is to pot them up into larger pots once they're about this big. And these ones here, these are the seed leaves. So those little ones that come straight out of the seed, that's them. You're waiting for a good set of true leaves on top before you put them up. So that's these little chaps all potted on. They will stay in these pots now for quite a while until they go into their final position in the polytunnel. Hopefully they don't grow too fast because I currently don't have a polytunnel after what happened to it in the winds. So hopefully they don't grow too fast. But from this point on, I will start feeding them. I'll feed them with sort of a general purpose fertiliser at first just to give them a bit of a boost. And then I'll go on to something similar to a Tomerite. I tend to use comfrey personally. There's plenty of videos around on how to make comfrey feed if you're interested, but ask me and I'll let you know. Yeah, it's quite exciting. We're at that first day of spring today and the tomatoes are go. So that was me potting up the tomatoes. I really do think if you're interested in growing anything, tomatoes are a really fantastic place to start. You can grow them indoors if you need to, and the difference in the flavour is astronomical. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, it means a lot, and comment below if you've got anything to ask me specifically. Hope everybody's not going nuts indoors. I'm not working anymore because of coronavirus. So I'm going to have quite a lot of time up the allotment. Hopefully that means I will actually get that polytunnel fixed. But whatever you're doing, I hope you're all safe and well, and I will see you on Instagram. Bye bye.